Hi guys, it's Brian, and today I want to give you guys my review for The Walking Dead World Beyond episode 9 titled The Deepest Cut. So I think this was a really good episode. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, so the episode starts out with, Huck just driving. She's driving the truck, and, she is also talking to Elizabeth in the flashback. And, as she's driving along the road, we get more of a flashback, and obviously they're talking about the asset, that we find out later it's Hope. Huck is eating a sandwich, something about the CRM in sandwiches, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, she's saying that it's going to work. If anyone questions her loyalty, then, they shouldn't, because, what she did to her face and arm. So she says it'll work. She'll get the girl, and they'll be ready to get picked up, and that they won't be delayed or anything. But Elizabeth isn't 100% sure, I suppose. And yeah, so anyways, Huck on the road, she notices a destroyed highway sign, and she decides to run over it because she has to slow him down, because Elizabeth said they can't have any expendables, other people on the journey. So she runs over it and destroys a tire, and we get the intro sequence, which I don't like. I still don't like it. Anyway, the characters are talking about what they can do to fix up the the car, and Iris is talking to Hope, just mentioning how things have been kind of quiet with them. They haven't really talked a lot, and Huck is just talking to Felix, and saying that they'll keep going on the journey. We then get a flashback to when Huck first met Felix, about how I guess she found the community or campus colony, and we get introduced to Will, who is he's Felix's boyfriend. And they just talk about, because Felix has experience, but that guy actually has a degree in the security and stuff. So anyway, in the present, the group comes across, they hear walkers, and this was pretty cool, I'll admit, because the walkers, they make this weird sound or something, and the walkers are actually connected to barbed wire, which is very interesting. So you can't go past them because you're going to get cut. And this is crazy. There are a ton of them surrounding the group. And I'll admit, this was a pretty cool scene. So Huck is just mentioning that they should stay together, and they are going to fight back against the walkers. They are trying to, kill them. Felix is kind of having a hard time. And I noticed this the first time I was watching it. I noticed that Huck wasn't really doing anything. And yeah, so anyway, Felix gets hurt. He screams because his leg or something. And Hope is pushing the walkers, and this was cool. She actually jams the flashlight in the walker's neck, I think. So I don't know, I found that really cool. And the characters are just pushing it. I don't know, they kind of skip over the fight scene, so I had a problem with that. So it's daytime, or it's dawn, I guess, and the characters they're still walking around. And Felix is kind of patching up his leg. It's pretty bad. Somehow when I saw it, I kind of was like, I didn't think it was the barbed wire. So anyways, we get Elton, and he's sitting on top of a container by himself. He's looking at the manuscript his mother made. Well, that his mother made. And as he looks through it, he starts, this is interesting. He actually starts ripping it, the pages. And I guess he's mad. We find out later that he is a little mad at his mother, that she killed Hope's mom and all that, and he starts throwing it away. I guess he kind of feels betrayed that the image of his mother isn't the same as it was, but he starts picking up the papers again. It's starting to rain, and one of the papers flies away, and as he picks it up, he notices that there's fresh blood on it, which was pretty interesting. And he sees that it is Percy. So yes, Percy is still alive, and this is crazy. I knew he was still alive, but still. But he passes out, because he has been injured. He, from the last time, and the characters are in this weird mansion house, and they're exploring. And Huck is talking to Iris, mentioning how she kind of feels like Iris avoids her, I suppose. They don't talk a lot, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Not much to that scene. And Huck looks in one of the rooms, and she says that she found an elderly couple who killed themselves, and they shouldn't go in that room, so they should leave. So, anyways, Felix, Huck is talking to Felix, mentioning how his leg, unfortunately, might slow them down, and they might have to think about the girls, and yeah. So after that, we get a scene with Felix and his boyfriend Will, just talking about, trusting and things like that, and that Leo is going to, the CRM, and just what they're going to do about that. After the flashback scene, we see some people up a hill, and it's actually Elton who's dragging Percy. And this is crazy. I gotta give it to Elton. I gotta give him props. Like, he's carrying all the bags, weapons that he has, supplies, and dragging Percy. I gotta give it to Elton. He's a short, scrawny kid, but he still was really working hard there. And he can't do it anymore. He's tired, and then we see Percy kind of wake up. I thought this was real, but Percy says that he's already dead, that he should just give up. And Elton says that he's not like his mom. He won't leave someone behind or kill somebody. He's not that kind of person. And Percy even says that how, like, he's already dead. He should just leave him behind and live. And it's crazy because, like, Elton even says, "I know you're not really talking to me," and he's just talking to himself. It's just absolutely crazy. And Percy even mentions that you're afraid to see the injury that I have, that Silas gave me. And Percy looks at his injury, and it turns out it's not from a wrench, it's from a bullet. So that is interesting, And then we get another viewer discretion is advised thing. I seriously don't know what's the point of these anymore. I mean, honestly, they're pointless. We have the characters coming across a roadblock on their journey. And I had a small problem with this. So Felix literally just jumps on top of it, even though he has a bad leg. Like, why didn't he just crawl? I'm sorry, but this is one issue I had with it. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what you guys thought about this, but this barricade scene, it felt kind of pointless to the story. I really feel like they could have taken it down or out, I suppose. And, Felix is just talking about how, like, yeah, he is really slowing them down. And, Huck even mentions that she'll take care of the girls, and, he'll stay behind. And, Felix is not happy, but he accepts it. So anyways, we get another flashback scene. I'm sorry, like, man, we get so many flashbacks. But we get a flashback to the campus colony, and, Felix is asking Leo about, who's going with him to CRM, and Will mentions that it's actually him. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty awkward, I would say, because Leo is taking this guy he barely knows over Felix, so it is kind of a bit of an awkward dinner situation, I suppose. But anyway, the group they discuss, and they mention how Will just wants him to trust him to do this. He doesn't want him to worry, and he just he's got this, and there's nothing to worry about. And yeah. So anyways, Elton is, looking over Percy's wound, and this was still kind of getting to me because you have Percy. I thought once again that he was actually waking up, and he says that he should just give up on him, kind of thing. And I was still unsure. I'm like, okay, is Elton still hallucinating or what? But yeah, anyways, it turns, he mentions that there's walkers, and we see 4 walkers coming up a hill. And we see that Percy is, on the ground, passed out again. So it's like, wow. So that was another hallucination. It's just crazy. Anyways, we have Hope and Iris talking, and, Hope mentions that she doesn't want to leave Felix behind, but they might have to. And Iris says that she's having a hard time figuring out Hope, like, who she is, and, like, if only she had a map of her. So anyways, we have, Elton. He's still trying to drag Percy. He doesn't want to leave him behind. And this is the part where actually he mentions that he's not like his mother. I mentioned it earlier, I was wrong. But anyways, Elton, he just doesn't want to give up on people. He doesn't want to be that kind of person who wants to save himself only. And, Percy tells him to let go. And we see, like, the walkers, it's like kind of like slow motion. And I think, like, I don't know if it was like Elton just realizing that, yeah, he has no time. And I don't know, this is weird. So Elton is sitting down again, and I'm just like, okay, are the walkers, how slow are they? Because, like, in this scene, like, the walkers are, like, frozen. They're, like, super slow. And I'm like, man, I thought walkers used to be fast. But Elton changes his mind. He's about to leave Percy, but decides not to. As he's walking away, he takes his bags off, and this is crazy. He starts, hooking the walkers with his fishing hook that Felix did back in episode 5, and he ties them, and he even takes Silas's wrench, which I'm glad it's being used again, and he bashes a walker's head in. So this was just crazy. I kind of wish he used more karate skills, because that's kind of how they established him. But yeah, I mean, I gotta give Elton props. Like, this was his moment. So anyways, we get yet another flashback to when Leo, their dad, was leaving for the CRM. Hope apparently isn't here, but I don't know. I'm surprised that she wasn't here. But anyways, Felix is just talking, and he just mentions that he kind of accepts that, that they're gonna leave without him. That is how it has to be, and that he might not see him for a while. So in the present, Felix is just walking around. He's looking at Iris, just mentioning how that they will have to leave him behind, that they will have to go with Huck. And Felix mentions how Iris is strong and capable now, that she doesn't need him to protect him anymore. And we have it where he talks with Huck, and Huck says that she'll take the girls and that she's got his back, and that and Felix says that he trusts her. But we see in the flashback that it was Huck, the one who cut his leg. I'm surprised no one else saw this, but I knew something was up. So yeah, Huck is the one who cut Felix in the leg to slow him down, and this was just absolutely crazy. So after that, we have Iris. She's talking with Huck about leaving Felix behind, and she talks with Hope. So Hope apparently was looking through the CRM journals, and Hope kind of changes. She says that so Iris says that she doesn't trust Huck anymore, that something's going on. Like, the way she's leaving Silas, she left Silas behind. She wants to leave Felix behind, but Hope says that she doesn't buy it. And the sisters kind of have a fight. They kind of just don't know who they are anymore. And so that scene ends. But we'll get to this more later, and it's pretty interesting what happens later. So at nighttime, we have Hope saying that they have to talk, and Hope mentions that she wants to leave, that Iris doesn't want to leave without Felix, and Huck agrees, saying that she'll take her. And I thought this was weird, but actually, like the fact that Huck agreed to this so fast, but we see that Hope is kind of shocked by this somewhat. In the morning, we have Elton. He finds what I assume is a CRM walkie-talkie from Percy's jacket, and he takes it. And meanwhile, Hope and Huck are talking. Hope thanks Huck for all her help with her grieving and things like that, helping her become stronger. But we see as Huck leaves to do something, Hope looks unsure. And meanwhile, we have Huck. She looks in her bag for the walkie-talkie, and as she tries to get a signal, probably to tell Elizabeth they're coming, we have Elton, who picks up her signal, and it's crazy. It happened at the exact same time, and he gives her their location, but Percy, tries to stop Elton, and this was crazy. I mean, like, we all knew it was coming, but Percy says that Huck is the one who shot him, and yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, talk about things getting interesting. So meanwhile, in the morning, we have Iris. She wakes up Felix and tells him that Hope and Huck are both gone, that it seems like they left them behind and they're nowhere to be found. All their supplies are gone. And we have Hope, who is so Huck comes back and they are walking, and we see what happened with Hope earlier, before Iris came. She is looking through the multiple numbers that from the CRM journals, and this is crazy. So Hope is like crazy smart. She is like a super genius, because she uses the coordinates, the numbers, to match with certain cities in the US and towns, and she circles certain letters, and the letters start spelling out certain words, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but she works through it. I don't know, this probably takes hours or something, but anyways, I honestly cannot believe this. I mean, Hope is like crazy smart, and she cracks the code, and she sees the horrible truth that Huck is a CRM spy, and the other characters she has with her are expendable, and that she's the asset. And Felix is surprised. He mentions that he can't find his gun. He asks where his gun is, and we see that Hope is the one. She has Felix's gun in her pocket, back pocket, and she starts pulling it out, and the episode ends. So yeah, guys, I mean, what can I say? An 8.5 out of 10. This was a really good episode. We had some really good moments with Elton and Hope, but there was just a couple of things like some of the flashbacks didn't work. So anyways, we have a post-credit scene with the CRM. There's a truck in the background, as well as a grave with a walker's head sticking out. Not sure how this happened exactly, but we hear some gunshots being fired, and we see a man who is running away from the gunshots. And as we see that it is Felix's boyfriend Will, as he's walking away, as he's running away, and we see another walker come as he's walking, but the walker gets shot in the head, and we know what it is. It's CRM soldiers, and they're chasing him down. And I mean, honestly, I missed this the first time I watched this because I didn't know we were going to get a post-credit scene. But I went back to the episode, and yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, the walker is just sitting there, just looking. I mean, man, this was crazy. So yeah, guys, I mean, what can I say about this episode? It was really good. I really enjoyed this. It was great, but had some issues like the flashbacks. But overall, this was a great episode. Let me know what you guys thought of it down below. And until next time, guys, take care. Bye.
We're survivors.